What is up, guys? SDPeasy here, and today we're bringing you a video on the Balon d'Or 2019. As you can see to the left, but my right, we've got the nominations here for Balon d'Or. So there's 30 players nominated, and there's some interesting ones, and there's some big players who I think have missed out. Maybe done a bit harsh, but you never know. Maybe not. I might be wrong. But we're going to go through them today and sort of dissect who we think's got the best chance of winning, and have a look at just the players that have been nominated and whether I think they deserved it or not. So obviously we're going to start at the bottom. We've got start off with Trent Alexander-Arnold. Definitely needs to be in there. Easily the best right back, probably in the world last year, because they did win the Champions League. So I mean, he's up there. So yeah, deserves it for me. Probably one of the better defenders about. Obviously, Mbappe, that's a simple one for me. Probably top 5, maybe top 3 players in the world last year. So it's an easy one. Ter Stegen, obviously, one of the best goalkeepers in the world. Heung-min Son, obviously, helped carry Spurs to the Champions League final. Lloris, obviously, captain of Spurs for the Champions League final. Firmino, obviously, Liverpool's striker in their deadly front three that they do have. So obviously definitely deserves to be in there. Obviously winning the Champions League as well. Koulibaly, probably one of the best centre-backs in the world at the minute. Obviously plays for Napoli. Surprised he hasn't actually ended up somewhere else. But obviously loyal to his club. A very good defender. And obviously De Ligt as well. Obviously it's more with his time with Ajax than it is Juventus. Obviously how well they did in the Champions League last season. Coming through to the semi-finals, and were very unlucky really not to make the final, and he was fantastic throughout the campaign, scoring goals and just showing his defensive capabilities. Karim Benzema was a surprising one for me. I didn't see him coming to be in there because Real Madrid did not have the best of years. So I was a bit like, whoa, okay, Benzema, a bit of a weird one, but he did score a lot of goals last season, so you can't necessarily knock him. Wijnaldum was another surprising one for me. Obviously, I know he had a good season for Liverpool, and obviously they did win the Champions League, but was he the most influential player in the team? I mean, maybe I'm being harsh. Maybe he does deserve a shout in there. I was shocked by that one as well. And De Jong, obviously, more for his, like De Ligt, more for his time at Ajax than it is Barcelona, where obviously Champions League semi-final, same as before. Brilliant, deserves it easily. Sterling, probably the best. Between him and obviously Van Dijk for best player in the Premier League last year, I thought maybe he was done harshly, just for how amazing he was. Obviously with City winning the league and actually winning a domestic treble. So really, can you complain? Probably not. He definitely just should be in there. João Felix obviously had a very good year for Benfica in the Champions League, and obviously getting his big move to Atletico, and he's grown from there, and he's become a really fantastic player. So really deserved actually for a young player. So he's done well for himself. Obviously Griezmann with his time at Atletico and Barcelona. Obviously always been a great striker, always been a player that should be nominated for this. And yeah, it's a simple one for me. Bernardo Silva was definitely up there for best player in Premier League last year. Really, he's fantastic. He deserves a lot more credit than he does actually get, because he's not a big name. He's not the big stars at City. But he's a fantastic player and definitely deserves to be in there. Then we've got 2 Ajax boys in Dusan Tadic and Van der Beek. Obviously were both absolutely fantastic in their Champions League campaign. Both really obviously lost the limelight to De Ligt and De Jong being the young players who have made their big money moves. Obviously they've stayed at Ajax and they were fantastic. Obviously really influential in them winning the league as well, winning Eredivisie. So you can't complain about either of those. Marquinhos was an interesting one. PSG obviously centre back, but obviously then again they did win Ligue 1. They did okay in the Champions League. You can't complain really. Marquinhos is definitely up there, probably one of the best defenders in the world at the moment. So he probably does deserve it. Mahrez was one I was surprised by. I'm very, very surprised by, if I'm honest. Obviously, did win the Africa Cup of Nations with Algeria. Obviously winning the domestic treble with Man City, including the league. Obviously they did well in the Champions League. But still an interesting one for me. I was a bit shocked. I've got to be honest. He's not one of their star players, so I was a bit surprised. But fair play to him. He's done well for himself since going to Man City. And then obviously Lewandowski. For me, I still consider Ronaldo a wide attacker. I don't know. For me, he's the best out-and-out striker in the world. So he has to be there. It's simple facts. obviously scoring banging in goals for fun in the Bundesliga, winning obviously Bayern win the Bundesliga again. Then we got a whole row of Premier League boys here. We've got De Bruyne, Alisson, Aubameyang, Salah and Aguero. Literally probably all make the Premier League team of the season easily. So for me, you can't complain at any of them. Alisson being the best goalkeeper in the world at current moment, you can't argue with it. De Bruyne probably being one of the best cams. Aubameyang and Aguero being probably two of the best strikers in the world, and obviously definitely the two best strikers in the Premier League. And Salah being one of the best wingers in the world. So can you really complain about any of them? Probably not. Then obviously Mane, who I think is Liverpool's best player, so definitely deserves to be in there. Probably for me, he is better than Firmino and 100% better than Salah. I don't feel that that's a competition anymore. I just feel like he's far too good, and obviously scoring goal in the Champions League final and winning the Champions League final, so you can't complain. Eden Hazard, I'm still going to grip on to a Chelsea boys in there because it was for his time at Chelsea, obviously winning the Europa League. Obviously now with his big money move to Real Madrid, and he's starting to bed himself into there. Obviously needs time to adapt to the different game, but obviously at Chelsea he was influential and absolutely amazing, get us into the top four and obviously winning us the Europa League, so how can you complain? And then obviously the three main stars, the three cover stars if you must, people who expect the top three to be of Ronaldo, Messi and Van Dijk. Obviously Ronaldo and Messi you can't argue with really. They're going to be in this every year, and I believe Ronaldo's just broke a record for actually being nominated for this for 16 years in a row, which is insane. How to be a good enough player to be nominated for the best footballer in the world, 16 seasons on the bounce? That's ridiculous. Absolute GOAT status, as well as Messi, obviously an absolute GOAT of football as well. Obviously everybody knows I prefer Ronaldo, but Messi is a fantastic player as well. Obviously. Winning La Liga, and obviously they didn't do actually that well in the Champions League, but I think this season they'll come stronger because I think their team is just brilliant. It's just too good. And obviously Van Dijk winning Premier League Player of the Year, being easily the best centre half in the world, and they won the Champions League again. Like I've said with the rest of the Liverpool players, so he has to be up there. I believe for me it's going to be between him and Messi maybe, but we'll go on to some players who I think have missed out big time. And then obviously I might give my opinions on who I think is going to win. So in terms of players that have missed out, there is 6 big players on my screen here who have missed out on not being nominated. Now obviously if we go left to right, we've actually got Modric, the winner of the Balon D'or last year, has become the first ever player to be not even nominated the following year. Now I said from the start that he never ever deserved to win it last year. I thought it was a joke that he won it. So the fact that he's not even been nominated, I think is harsh. It's an amazing stat to really think he's not even nominated. It's a bit crazy. And then obviously we move on to Harry Kane, England's main striker. Maybe done harshly here not to be nominated. Obviously Tottenham did get to the Champions League final. I know he didn't play the biggest part in their role to the final, but maybe harsh. Chelsea boy N'Golo Kante, obviously still the best centre defensive midfielder in the world. It's a simple fact, everyone knows that. So maybe he has been done a bit harshly to not even be nominated. He's normally one of those players you think, yeah, pretty much a staple to be nominated up there, especially in terms of midfielders. So I was a bit surprised by that one. Luis Suarez as well, big player to miss out. Barcelona's striker, scores goals for fun in La Liga. So very, very harsh for him not to be in there, in my opinion. It's a big one to not be there. But we've left the 2 biggest players till last. Now, Andy Robertson, without a doubt, should be in that list. It's a simple fact that I don't care what you say, he should be in that list. He's the best left back in the world. There's no one better than him. It's a simple fact. He's much better than Marcelo. He's much better than I don't even know who Barcelona have at left back. Jordi Alba. He's much better than Jordi Alba. How he's not made that cut is unreal, and really the people who make these decisions just need to sort that out. That's terrible. And then, obviously, the big one, Neymar, has not been nominated for the Balon d'Or. Now, I know he was injured for a lot of the season, but he still played a huge part in their Champions League. He still played a huge part in them winning Ligue 1. Like, he still scored goals for fun, even being injured. How? How can he not be in there? He's in the top 5 best players in world football, and he's not been nominated. So for me, that's just crazy. I mean, especially Robertson and Neymar are crazy to not be there. Now, as you can see here, I've changed to a winner screen. I have covered the guy who I think is going to win this. Obviously, we know it's probably going to be between Ronaldo, Messi and Van Dijk. For me, if this guy doesn't win, it's a bit of a madness. And it is the man that is going to be taking the highest amount of Balon d'Ors. He's going to go to 6. That man is Lionel Messi. Now, he had a fantastic year, as he always does, breaking records for goals, assists. The man is a machine. He's an absolute GOAT of the game. It's not right if he doesn't win it, in my opinion. This man should take his 6th Balon d'Or. That should be the winner. But that's my opinion. You may have different. A lot of people are going to think Van Dijk, obviously winning the Champions League and being the best defender in the world. It's up to you. What I'd love to hear is in the comments what you think. Even if you don't think Messi or Van Dijk, I want to know who else you think should be winning the Balon d'Or, and also who has been put into the nominations for Balon d'Or that shouldn't be there, and players who should be there that just can't miss out. I'd love to know who you think, so please let me know in the comments or send me a message on Twitter or any form of social media. Just let me know who you think should be there and whether you think I've got it right. But hopefully you have enjoyed that. It's been a cool video to do on the Balon d'Or. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please leave a like on this video if you are still here watching the video. It'd mean a great deal to me. If we can get this video to 5 likes, that'd be absolutely sick. Thank you for your support recently, and we're still uploading daily at 6 PM. So if you're not subscribed, why aren't you subscribed? Hit that button, hit the notification bell next to it, so you'll always get a notification straight through to your phone at 6 PM every single day. Why wouldn't you do that? We're banging content, and we're banging content out every day. So I mean, if you're not subscribed, what are you doing, man? Sort it out and click that button. But thank you very much for watching.